Hello, I'm here with Ghostfeeders. Our next creepypasta comes from a user. Daniel wasn't the type to believe in paranormal stuff. He was a psychology student. You know, rational, skeptical, that sort of thing. But when he found the app Somnus, something about it hooked him. It promised lucid dream control. Just listen to its calming voice as you fall asleep and you unlock full awareness inside your dreams. So naturally, as a skeptic, Daniel decided to give it a shot. The first night he just set it running and drifted off. He had no way of knowing if it actually worked or not. But the next morning he checked his phone and it told him he'd slept for 6 hours. It also told him he'd achieved 100% compliance. He frowned at that word, compliance. What did it mean? That night he dreamt of a hallway. It was dimly lit and lined with an endless series of doors. Some were made of wood, others steel or glass. Each one was different, and they stretched into the distance as far as he could see. Then he heard the voice again. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It whispered, "Pick one," and Daniel found himself drawn to the nearest door. He reached out and pushed it open. There was nothing behind it except darkness. He took a step forward and suddenly he was standing in front of a wall. He turned around to look back at the hallway, but the door was gone. All he could see was an unending darkness all around him. Then he felt something brush against his leg and he jumped back with a start. He shone his phone's flashlight on the ground in front of him and gasped. There were strange shapes moving in the shadows. They seemed almost alien-like, and he turned and ran until he woke up, sweating. He checked his phone again. It said he'd slept for 6 hours and that he'd once again achieved 100 compliance. He went to bed that night and dreamt of the hallway once more. This time, though, the doors were numbered. "Open door 3, the voice commanded. And when he did, it led him into his own bedroom. He saw himself lying in bed fast asleep, but with eyes wide open, staring directly at him. He awoke screaming. His phone buzzed with the same message. Sleep duration, 6 hours. Compliance, 100. On the third night, the voice told him to run. He found himself sprinting down the hallway. Something heavy was chasing him, its footsteps pounding and its breath ragged and shallow. Up ahead, he saw a room with what looked like a faint light coming from under the door. He flung it open and dove through, collapsing onto the floor as he heard the sound of shattering glass right behind him. In the room, he saw dozens of mirrors lined up against the walls. But when he looked into them, he didn't see himself. Instead, he saw pale, lifeless faces staring back at him. And those faces were whispering the same word over and over. Stay, stay, stay. When he woke, his app log simply read, sleep quality, excellent, excellent for who? By the fourth night, Daniel couldn't tell if he was awake anymore. He opened his eyes, but the voice kept going. Don't fight it, stay still. His phone glowed, screen black, but the voice was still there. Inside the dream, he saw a door labeled with his own name. He opened it and stepped through and found himself in his own room. His phone was recording him. He looked back, but the door was gone. When he turned, he saw that his bed was empty. But when he approached it and reached out a hand to touch it, he felt the mattress dip under his fingers. It was like trying to grab smoke. When he pulled away, he saw a shadowy figure lying where he knew his body should be. Then the voice said, "You are now awake." The fifth night, he found the others. Dozens of beds lined a dark, damp chamber. Each one was occupied by a sleeper whose chest rose and fell with shallow breaths. Every single one of them held a glowing phone, and all of them whispered in sync with the app. Stay, stay, stay. Daniel realized this wasn't a dream anymore. It was a network, a hidden layer of reality overlapping his own, accessible only through the app. And he was already inside it. That night, his phone buzzed with a new message. Welcome to the network. Your compliance is appreciated. The sixth night, Daniel tried to fight back. He deleted the app or thought he did. It reappeared in his list of installed programs the next day. That night, he dreamed of the hallway once more, but it was different. The doors were all open now and beckoning. He walked past them and saw a staircase descending into darkness. When the voice said, "Go down," he did so and found himself standing in front of a mirror. He looked into it and saw not his own face, but one of the pale figures from the other side. It smiled at him and beckoned with a finger. Daniel woke up screaming. The app was gone. His phone looked normal again, but in his gallery were 7 videos. Each one showed him asleep in his bed with a shadow standing over him. The last one showed the shadow move closer, 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 until it blotted out the screen. If you ever see Somnus on your app store, don't download it. Thanks for watching. If you like this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more great stories.